Hello, today's Bible study comes from Acts chapter 20. Hello, today's Bible study comes from Acts chapter 25, verses 23 through 27, and it reads as follows. The next day, Agrippa and Bernice came with great pomp and entered the audience room with the high ranking military officers and the prominent men of the city. At the command of Festus, Paul was brought in. Festus said, King Agrippa and all who are present with us, you see this man. The whole Jewish community has petitioned me about him in Jerusalem and here in Caesarea, shouting that he ought not live any longer. I found he had done nothing deserving of death, but because he made his appeal to the emperor, I decided to send him to Rome. But I have nothing definite to write to his majesty about him. Therefore, I brought him before all of you, and especially before you, King Agrippa, so that as a result of this investigation, I may have something to write. For I think it is unreasonable to send a prisoner on to Rome without specifying the charges against him. Now, this is a pretty short Bible study because this is when Paul went in front of King Agrippa. And it tells you the next day, Agrippa and Bernice came with great pomp and entered the audience room with high ranking military officers and the prominent men of the city. It's just saying they came in big time with a crowd. They had an entourage. Um, and this was an event for them. You know, it was a big thing. It held some clout with them as far as status wise. It was held in the auditorium, and as it said, he had all these commanders and prominent people. And then Festus said, "Hey, bring Paul in." At the command of Festus, he said, "Bring Paul in." And Festus said, "King Agrippa, and all who are present with us," because like I said, it was a entourage of prominent people. You see this man, and he's saying it strongly. And then he talks about what happened. Mm, the whole Jewish community has asked, petitioned, wanted me, asked about him in Jerusalem. They petitioned me about him in Jerusalem and here in Caesarea. They were asking questions and telling them what was going on. They had complaints about Paul, and they wanted Paul to be punished. Yes, they did. And what Festus is doing right here is he is making his opening statement before Agrippa. So when I found that he had committed nothing deserving of death, now Festus is still like, I don't know what he did. I found he had done nothing deserving of death. So in other words, he's saying he innocent. And I didn't find any evidence to do anything other than that except say he's innocent. But because he made his appeal to the emperor, because he wants to go in front of Caesar, since none of us could find him guilty, I decided to send him to Rome because remember, this was against the law for a Roman citizen in the first place. But then he tells he tells King Agrippa, he says, but I don't have anything that I can write to His Majesty about him. I don't have any evidence to put down. I don't have any wrongdoings. I don't have anything. So the reason that I brought him before you, and especially before you, because remember, King Agrippa was accustomed with Jewish laws, and he read them and studied them. We spoke about the other day. So that as a result of the investigation, because you can give me information into what he is stating and saying, because you have heard and read and understand this, you can give me some results on the investigation so that I can write something to the king. But right now, I don't have anything. And then he says, but I do think it is unreasonable. This is why I want you, because I think it is unreasonable for me to send a prisoner on to Rome without specifying or telling them specifically the charges against him. Because I don't have anything. They didn't have anything. Lysias didn't bring anything. And I'm still in the same boat. So I brought him in front of you because I figured that you could do something and help me out with this. And we'll do an investigation. And after that matter, you can tell me if you saw anything. Because before I send them there, I should send them with some specific charges. But as he said, I don't have anything against him yet. And that's the end of chapter 25. Amen.